Hello. Welcome to the bundled edition. Edition. Oh, yeah. It is absolutely beautiful out and pouring, and you can probably hear the rain in the background. I actually had to put in my headphones so that you could hear me. Because you could hear me with the background, but it was kind of hard. So hopefully the headphones help. I wanted to talk a little bit today. I've been wanting to actually share for a while, but I just haven't. So I'm now taking the moment to share while I'm out on a little solo retreat. Whoa, huge crazy fish just jumped. They're so active right now. The river is so full and active and beautiful. And yeah, anyways, so I've been wanting to share this thing for a while in regards to being receptive, but not having to receive. And what do I even mean by that? So this came about in September, esoteric story time and mentorship that I hold a couple times a month. We're currently reading through The Untethered Soul. Brilliant book by Michael A. Singer. So if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Also Living Untethered, which is like the sequel that tells you how to live the stuff that was in the first book. You can actually read them in either order. I usually recommend actually reading the second one first. Anyways, I digress. So being receptive versus receiving. So I hear this a lot when I'm working with people in regards to their awakening process. I had this happen to me as well. So when I was first working with my mentor, oh my goodness, like 10 years ago, something like that, over 10 years ago, I don't know, time is quantum. As everything was expanding within me, and as the light was expanding even more and more and more and more and more and more and more, I started receiving more and more messages. And part of the reason I actually was blessed to find my mentor when I did was because I was already receiving so many messages that I couldn't function, really. There was so much info, so much frequency, so much data coming through from the spirit realms that I didn't know what to do with myself. And I thought I had to receive it all. You can tell I'm a little chilly because I'm shaking a little here. Let's see if I can make this a little more stable. There. Right? So I thought I had to receive it all of it. And I see this a lot with my clients. Like I said, they'll come in and they're like, yeah, but I'm getting these messages at 3 a.m. and I have to process them. I have to receive them. I have to allow it. And one of the key lessons I learned from my mentor was you don't. You have the right to still put in your boundaries, right? You still have the right to put in your boundaries and be like, no, thanks, I'm good. But that doesn't mean that you have to shut down and not be receptive. Right? We hear this all the time in the awakening process of surrender. And it's true. We do have to let go of the constraints that we put on ourselves of trusting. Because this whole process, if you're in it or you've been in it, well, if you've been in it, you're still in it. Because really, once you're in it, you can't really get out. It's kind of hard to shut that back off, right? When you're in it, and you surrender, there's this trusting that has to happen. And trusting in something that really isn't tangible. So it's kind of a thing. To surrender is to be open to receive. But that doesn't mean that every single thing that comes through you must receive. So let's say, I had, and this still happens to me. So let's go with what's happening now. So I have some nights, there was actually a period of time where almost every night I would wake up speaking light language. And I do a ton of healing work in my sleep. So I close my eyes on this plane and I enter into the other plane and I do all this work over there. But then that can leave me pretty exhausted over here in this plane, right? On this earth plane. And then I remembered one of the main lessons was put in your boundary and be like, awesome, I'm here to receive, but not between 9 and 5. Those are not my business hours, right? Or between 11 p.m. and 8 a.m. How about I book you in for Thursday night? I have some time between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., right? It's okay to say, I am here. I am open to receive. And also, no thanks, I'm good. Not everything that comes through is required, right? The door might be open. You might have been like, here's the door is open. And sometimes it's okay to say the door is shut, or the door is open and the delivery man brought milk. And you're like, I can't drink milk, or I choose not to drink milk. You can say, I'm good. No thanks, I'm good. Now, this is a whole nother, I can hear, and I even hear it in my own head, of like, yeah, but if you're open to receive, and then you say no, that closes the door. No, it doesn't. But then what if you're picky? Well, I don't want to receive that. Well, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother post about discerning what is, yes, this is okay. Yes, I can work with this, and no, whoa, that is too much. That is not for now. I don't have the tools for that, or that is not even something I want to dive into. You still have the right to be open and receptive and have your boundaries. Okay? That's all. I'd love to hear, what do you think of that concept? How have you noticed as you've surrendered and trusted and opened those moments that have come through that you've been like, oh, wait a minute, no thanks, I'm good? Did you feel you could say no thanks, I'm good? Or were you under that impression that when you're on this path, you are just a pure conduit that has to take everything that comes in? Because that's kind of the message that's been out there for a long time, of be grateful that you've opened to receive. You can still be grateful and still say, no thanks, I'm good. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.